Tutorial video on how to play There's a River from the Good Monsters record. Um, church, we actually got to cover this one at church a couple of years back, so that was nice. Um, so I had a chart for it on my computer, and I thought I'd go, okay, I'm pretty well good to go to make a tutorial for it. So I did clean up the chart and add a few things that didn't previously have, like how long the counts are for some things on, like, was you were never meant to shoulder, and some of those, one of them, like the first one's only 4 counts, and then the second one is about maybe 7 before the next part of the song is sung. And so they sort of either, it's like it's a 4 count or an 8 count depending on what's going on in the song. I want to say this is a pretty straightforward song in terms of the rhythm acoustic. It's a lot of what I guess I might consider basic chords. There is a barred F chord and a potentially barred G chord. It's easy, but it's not. So I mean, if you're just starting out, this is a good song. If you're just starting to play guitar and you like Jars of Clay, this is a good song to start with of theirs. Anyway, let me go into verse 1, and we'll start going through. We'll break it piece by piece: verse, chorus, next verse, next chorus, bridge, the guitar solo, and sort of the outing chorus that happens at the end. So let's start with verse 1. Here we go. And I'll just play through it once, and then we'll go back and talk about it. Okay. And the guitars just start off by themselves, and the band will come in just based on where the rest of the band comes in. If you're playing this with a group, listen to the record carefully to make sure you got all those transitions correct. Anyway, here we go. There is a river that washes you clean. There is a tree that marks the places you've been. Blood that was spilled, the whole not your own, for all of your tears. Are the wages for things you've done. All of those nights spent alone in the darkness of your mind. Get up. Let it go. These are things you never meant to shoulder. Okay. Never meant to shoulder. So it kind of, the first "they're meant to shoulder" goes right into the chorus pretty quickly. Maybe that G chord gets, I think if I counted right, it only gets about one measure, 4 counts. Before the first chorus begins. So our first chord is an F. And depending on how you've been taught, you might do it this way. All the notes are the same, it's just the way you finger it that's different. Your fingers are all kind of lined up. I think at this point I've seen guys in jars, they're doing it this way instead of, I learned it this way, and unfortunately we'll have to work to break the habit. I think, I want to say on a scientific level, doing it this way, you have 3 fingers that are all pointed in the same direction versus having your fingers kind of do a hump thing. You're kind of uniting your force on the neck a little. The united force versus sort of a straight line versus a curve. So either way, whatever you play in F is fine. You still get there. If you want to try that new way, if that's new to you, go ahead. So first, there's a river, and there's also the practice of holding all the strings that your pointer finger is going to need to hold down to get that bar chord. And it takes time, and it kind of hurts your hand a little bit, but once you get it, it's nice once you get enough skin built up on your fingers from the calluses that you'll acquire as you play. You can see my fingers, and see the nice indentations of where strings have left their mark on me. then you'll be able to do that, and it's nice. There are songs that you just kind of, the only way, if you want to play them the way the record people on the record did, you got to learn how to bar. So then it's a convenient thing to be able to do. Anyway, enough about that. There's a river that washes you clean. Apologize if my instrument's out of tune. And then we said a C chord, C major. And it sounds like it's the open version they use. I don't think it's a. Doesn't sound like that. Doesn't sound like that. So those are also C chords up in different positions with higher notes because of what's going on in the fingering. But yeah, it sounds like it's down here. It's good old country C. And there's another F, another C, and A minor. Blood that was spilled. Again, there's another. If you finger it this way, you're still getting all the same notes. You're just maybe you're just fingering it that way that maybe is more complementary to pushing strings down, I guess. If you've already started the bad habit of this and you don't care, that's fine. You're still playing the right, still getting the right notes. A minor, blood that was spilled, although not your own. And there's no A in there, and I have a bad habit of hitting the A string when I'm doing D chords, which I've had complaints from from people who have ears. You can do it that way, or you can even bar. So, and then and if that makes it easier to reach up with your ring finger to rest it between the A and E strings. To get that D without the A, without making the mistake of letting that A ring. There you go. And then for all of your tiers, another A minor, F, C, A minor, F. The darkness of your mind, G. Give it up, F. Let it go, E minor. However. The only thing you got to do is put the A and D strings down on the 2nd fret, your 4th and 5th. And make sure these notes are the notes that come out of the guitar. Back to another A minor. These are things you were never meant to shoulder. And I'm playing sort of an open, what I would consider a country G. And that's the only reason I'm calling that is from my own personal experience playing guitar. I don't know what it is. It might be something different for you. Or there's the... And I did play the A note because I'm actually muting it. So it'll just be... Or you can do the... Whichever sounds appropriate, pertaining to yourself or the group you're playing with or whatever. And then we're moving into a chorus. There is a river that washes you clean. There is a tree that grows in places you've been. Blood never spilled, no one your own. All of those tears have been told. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, so something like that for the chorus. I don't know if my count's right there. I had that G chord last for about 10 or so counts. I don't know, the way I charted it, you can see it. Can't yet see it. No, I can't yet see it. There we go. Yeah, right there, a tone. So yeah, something like that. So anyway, there is a river that washes you clean, and you can reach up. If I didn't mention, you can kind of reach in with that C chord, with that finger that's doing your on the 3rd fret to mute the low E, to keep that note from being played. You'll notice when you strum it fast, you don't even hear that. You don't even notice that low E going. So there is a tree that marks the places you've been. Blood that was spilled, although not your own. For all of those tears, love will atone. Or even, I think all 3 of those shapes are agreeable with the recording, agreeable enough. So you could go from your F, for all of those tears, love will atone, and you just slide it up 2 frets. Into verse 2. So give up the right to control the waves that empty at your life. Above wild skies, where the rays that break the shadows we design. Give it up, let it go. These are the things you were never meant to shoulder. Give it up, let it go. Okay, so there was our verse 2. Give up the right to control the waves that empty at your life. Above wild skies are the rays that break the shadows we design. Give it up, let it go. These are things you were never meant to shoulder. And you can do some I maybe wouldn't bounce off the, because then I lose my root note in that chord in the C, but there's a few little things you could do. I'm just kind of pulling off the G on the 2nd fret. There's little things you could do during the C chord if you wanted, or even during the A minor above, like the above wild. Well, let's say, give up the right to control the waves that empty at your life. Are the rays break the shadows we design. Give it up, let it go. These are things you were never meant to shoulder. Let it go. Okay, sorry. So you could do some. These 2 fingers are going. Yeah. There is a... So yeah, there's this little country hammer on and pull offs you could be doing during the song, just to make it a little more fun to listen to it and play and all that kind of stuff. Because it is got a lot of country in it. I think it sounds like an America song in a lot of ways. And you know, they covered that America song during this record, so that's definitely in there somewhere. There is a river that washes you. There is a tree that marks the places you've been. Where the past been rolling down. All of those things over the top. I know the world can turn. And anyway, there's your second chorus. So there is a river that washes you clean. There is a tree that marks the places where you've been. Blood that was spilt, although not your own. For all of those things, love will atone. Can turn in different ways. Most of the time we're simply hanging on. Under the signs of how we all behave, we might find the place where we belong. Okay. Just kind of went into that enough you could kind of hear the connection between the bridge and the guitar solo. So, I know the world can turn in different ways. And you'll notice in the record he bounces around a little. He does a little bit of country hammer on pull off. I just kind of pull up on the string like to get that. I think the first one I'm doing. Most of the time we're simply hanging on. And under the signs of how we all behave, we might find the place where we belong. And then into the solo. Okay, so the new chords here: F major 7, E minor 7, C major 7, that are going on. Here's your E minor 7 and C major 7. The C major 7, which if you capo 2 becomes D major 7, and then you're playing crazy times, which I have a total video for to look at there. Or I've done some videos there, or I may need to do a new video for that because I don't really have a break. I'm not sure I did a good breakdown of the chords on that one. But anyway, F major 7, T minor 7 to C major 7, 3 times through F major 7, F, G. Solo wise, if you got an electric guitar player, they're gonna start up here. Don't hit that D string. Oh, here we go, reaching on this guitar. Okay, so it's a slower, it sounds like. I'll do that one more time. Okay, and there, electric guitar. Maybe some chorus and reverb on the effect to really get that echoey thing that's going on. If you want to play it down here, so there it is, same notes, octave or 2 octaves down, whatever that translates to, on these within the first 5 frets instead of going up here, if that's something you'd rather do. And even another way to get it, so you're kind of representing your bass root notes in the chords. The F major 7, just kind of strum down. So I've got my this shape doesn't change, it just slides up 2 frets. And then to the C major 7. And if you want to get that low F and that low G note, I would do this. Oh, don't do that, but I'm not messing with the A string at all, it's just the F, D, G, B, and E strings, or first, second, third, fourth, and sixth. No fifth string. And I'm kind of finger picking it. Something like that. Maybe I'm not even including the D on the third. I'm just okay. I kind of have to when I get to. So yeah. So, but if I'm doing more of a strummy-ish thing there, I'm going. I'm letting this finger mute my A. So. So there's a few different ways to mess with the solo if you want to do that. If you're to acoustics, maybe that lower down here version might sound better, but if you want to do it up here, feel free. Kind of sounds like a banjo. Heck, get a banjo player to do the solo. Well, you have people strumming the F major 7, E minor 7, C major 7 progression. That's cool too. I'd love to see a video of that. Record that and send me a link. Comment with a link for that. That'd be awesome. Anyway, so So there's your ending, last chorus. So there is a river that washes you clean. There is a tree that marks the places you've been. For all these things, F major 7, C major 7, F major 7, C major 7, F major 7, C major 7 for the last 3 lines. So we have kind of going back to our so I think that solo starts being played on the electric again. He's just going back and forth from the. He's just. And the shape doesn't change. It's starting on the 12th, down to the 7th. While your guy's going. Something like that. For all of these things, don't feel a tone. Of those nights, I hop alone. The tears of the tone. Yeah, so that's how it ends. You can kind of bounce around a little bit, I guess, or not if you don't want to. If it feels wrong, don't do it. If it feels right, do it. There. So, but another quick thing to note is if you play capo 3, doing a D chord, there's your F. There is a river that washes you clean. or even on the 5th fret. There is a river that washes you clean. There is a tree that marks the places you've been. Lord, that was smooth alone at your own for all of your tears. Oops, other way. Just the things you've done. All of those nights spent alone in the darkness of your mind. Give it up, let it go. These are my things you were never meant to shoulder. There is a river that washes you clean. Is a tree that places you've been. Where it was smooth, alone at your own. All of those years, love at all. So there's a couple ways to play it in the 3rd and 5th frets. You can kind of mess with those too, and maybe you play without the capo, your other friend plays up on the 5th or the 3rd. Just kind of give the, if you have two rhythm guitars going, acoustic rhythm, you can give it some dichotomy that way, and then you have your 3rd player who's on the electric doing the. So, you know, cool possibilities there. But yeah, that's pretty much my video for this song, which is now a half hour long. So, but anyway, I hope I gave you all some good information, and you can enjoy and play the song more than one way, and enjoy it, and rediscover it, and stuff like that. All right, keep learning. See you next time.